Hi, everyone. Okay, so first things first, this is the book, right? This is book one, part one. This is what's coming soon. And it's finished. I'm doing a read through right now with Marie. I'm reading it out loud to her, and I'll talk about that process in a upcoming journal, but it's coming very soon. This is it. Second thing. Second, let's talk about writing. That's what today's journal is about. It's the process of writing and how most of what I read today is just like gibberish because people are in such a rush. Everyone's always in such a rush to get their writing out, and they don't take care with the craft. And so that's what this is about. Journal 75, Saturday, April 27th, 2024, Writing Goodly. Hi, everyone. Once upon a semester, every class I taught had a major writing assignment. Today, none of them do, because I couldn't get anyone to understand the difference between writing badly and writing goodly. It takes me all day to write 500 words, I would say. And it would be interpreted as evidence that they're better writers than I am, because I can write 1,000 words in like 20 minutes. Okay, so can everyone else. Anyone with fingers can do that. Watch this. And so on. I just wrote 306 words in exactly 60 seconds. Aren't I talented? Sure, there was a typo in there, but how long does it take to spell check? Not all day, I can tell you that much. Writing isn't typing, it's editing, I often found myself explaining. And editing isn't spell checking, it's rewriting for clarity, for cadence, for a clever turn of phrase. The same is true with visual art. The Mona Lisa is 630 square inches, and Leonardo spent 16 years painting it. If you can paint a whole wall in like 20 minutes, it wouldn't be a painting anyone would want to look at. So consider whether anyone would want to read your 20-minute typing frenzy. Bob Ross could paint a Mona Lisa-sized landscape in like half an hour. Okay, two things just happened. First, you compared Bob Ross to Leonardo da Vinci. Second, you compared yourself to Bob Ross. I'm not sure which comparison is more egregious. Aside from that, it's worth acknowledging that Bob Ross didn't wing those paintings in half an hour. That was just the show. He'd already done the painting before taping. It was propped up on an easel just out of the camera's line of sight. The televised performance was Bob copying that painting on a new canvas. Then, after the show, he would do a third draft, which he spent more time on to create the final version everyone sees. Even to Bob Ross, art was not a practice of painting, but repainting. And the same is true with writing. Creating something original that people would willingly read takes a lot of rewrites, especially if you lack Bob Rossian talent in your craft, whatever that craft may be. Developing the skill to produce real art on a third draft requires at least a decade of focused work. But improving our ability to write is a decade well spent because that doesn't just make us better communicators, it makes us more empathetic listeners and better observers and clearer thinkers. Writing isn't a demonstration of intelligence, it is intelligence. If you're unable to articulate something, "Oh, I guess you just had to be there," you don't know it. The indescribable is the unknown. But the unknown can be learned, and once learned, it can be written goodly, but not in 20 minutes. Right, that's today's. Trying to close the screen. Okay, so at the end there, what I was talking about was that the process of writing is the process of analysis. And if we want to become more analytic thinkers, we have to learn how to write. And that's what I find so troubling, so concerning about AI and its intrusion into our lives. If we let AI do writing on our behalf, we are never going to learn analytical thinking, right? We're never going to become more talented at analysis. We're not going to become better communicators, better observers. We won't become clearer thinkers, right? We'll just be like, I don't know, unimaginative, uninteresting people with no original thoughts. That's what we'll become. And to me, this may sound cold, right, or heartless or something, but it makes us less lovable. So I think it's so important to keep our humanity. It's so important to do our own writing and develop those skills. And I'm 43 and I continue to develop those skills. But the older I get, the slower I become at writing. Not because like my brain's slower or something, but I set higher standards. So I don't get when people are like, oh, I write like several thousand words a day. Oh, I don't know what you mean by writing, right? Because I can type that many words. I can type thousands of words a day. But in the editing process, in the rewriting process, the Bob Rossian repainting process, I'm going to delete them all because they aren't any good, right? Because I didn't spend time with those sentences, massaging those words and analyzing the meaning of them. And so that as we get older, as we get more talented, um, we set higher standards. Like think about an artist, like a visual artist. Once you learn that you can draw at a higher level, you no longer settle with the doodles, right? I mean, just ask Leonardo. We don't settle with substandard stuff once we realize we can do higher level performances, higher level art. So I'll end there. I hope your editing, I hope your re-whatevering process is a rewarding one and you take pleasure, whether it's music, whether it's writing, whether it's the arts, whatever your expression is, that you take pleasure in analysis and improvement in that whole process.